Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, we are back at it. Legend tier rankings. Today we're doing running backs, our first offense of position. All right. How you doing
Yeah,
tonight?
100%. 100%.
How you doing tonight, Max?
I'm doing good, One. How are you?
I'm good, living life, trying to struggle with these tier lists, honestly, because I'm kind of sweating this one.
Yeah.
Because little pre-podcast talk with me and Max, we have a lot of running backs on our list, and
Didn't discuss it. Thought
yeah.
it'd be a little bit more interesting because we're going to be cutting some lines here.
Yeah.
Cutting
So
some
look,
very...
first of all, thank you guys for clicking on this video and supporting the channel. First of all, if you guys are not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video and comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have about the conversation at hand, or if you guys want to see another video type idea, we'll do it. All right. Anyway, look, I want to clarify with this one because we've been doing defense, and what we've been doing with a lot of these positions is putting an old GOAT tier for all the old heads. Me and Max decided that this is the first position we're not going to do that for one reason only. Running back is one of those positions that hasn't really aged all that differently throughout the years. It's still the same. You still need to run the ball. You still nothing has really changed schematically. The only thing that has really changed with running backs is fullbacks. That's really it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like there's some stat inflation that just kind of happens, and that's fine. Like we can, like everyone's got a caveat, right? Like,
yeah,
getting a lot of yards and getting a lot of carries, there's some guys who are like that. And there's other guys like modern day guys, 300 carries is not heard of it today. So it's just like, it's just things you have to kind of consider with these guys. I think we've all seen these guys. I mean, it's the running back position, dude. I feel like it's the most marquee position throughout the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
I know 10 years, like the last 10 years hasn't been kind of running backs, but if you grew up in the 90s, the 2000s, the 80s, the 70s, 60s, it wasn't always about quarterbacks, dude. It was about best running back. Like, who's got the running game? We got to run the ball to win. Like, let's take out 15 years, one, of biasness and just recency. It's been run the ball and play defense to win a championship until 15 years ago.
100%.
So we can't just throw away all these guys, from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. And, it's a lot, even Jim Brown looking like a monster. Like, I know the competition wasn't great, but, I think we're going to go without the old head maybe for this one, maybe a couple other ones on offense. It's a little different with defense because I think defense has evolved a lot more than offense. Well, especially the caliber 100%. Of athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, for all the old heads out there that feel like we've been disrespecting guys, we're going to rank them today. Okay. So sit back, relax.
Jim Brown, obviously F tier, guys. Only played when there wasn't even a Super Bowl, the dock points there.
So look, let's talk about it. Let's go Jim Brown. I feel like that's a good way to start. The innovator of a great running back, honestly. Like, you look back at history, almost every single running back that has been good in the NFL, it's like at some point you hear the name Jim Brown go in your ear hole because he was the one that started all, man. He was ridiculous. Let's look at some of his stats, his legend score. He won MVP 3 times, guys.
Yeah. That's unheard of, it's unheard of. I mean, look, he played, I think 9 years, right? 9 seasons.
Yeah.
9 seasons, 8 first team all pros, 1 second team all pro, rushing leader 8 times. Like, again, was he an old school guy? Yeah. Were the stats inflated a little bit? Yeah. Was he the best player in his position? He was the best player in football's history when he retired.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone here would argue that. He's the forefather of the position. We've all seen the highlights. We've seen the games of Jim Brown just looking like, he's playing in high school against grown men.
Yeah. Unlike some people like Will Chamberlain, I'm just saying.
Oh, disrespect. Come on. Come on. Like, this is an easy ass just for a couple reasons. He was an amazing player. I think he would still be an amazing player today if he played. Like, his skill set would translate, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, would he be a little, like, maybe he's not as fast, he's not the fastest guy in the NFL. He's still powerful as hell. Like, even if when you watch him on in like the grainy film, does he not look like a Greek god? Like he's cut up,
Yeah,
you
he
know.
was ridiculous. Look,
Yeah,
Jim Brown. I mean,
he's an S
Max.
tier.
Yeah, Max said it best. You know, the forefather of running back position. He had the speed. He had the power. He had the jukes, man. Like he was all around. And a lot of people just don't remember that he was the top tier athlete at that time. Like he was just one of those guys. And he did other stuff like, you know, groundbreaking stuff as far as like, you know,
A human
black players
being.
go,
Yeah,
you
a
know.
human being. Yeah, great guy
Yeah, so
too. Like,
like
you know,
Jim Brown's awesome, bro. Go what
it'd
I
be like not
haven't
talking about Bill Russell on. It'd like be like not talking about this is the NBA's Bill Russell. Like, I know I don't mean that
yeah.
in a bad way. I mean
Yeah.
like super good human being. You know, civil rights movement, awesome player, played lacrosse, Hall of Fame lacrosse guy. He's Jim Brown.
Yes, sir.
Let's put him in S. Maybe at the back of S, just you know, caveat because you know their times are a little different.
Yeah.
But Jim Brown, there's nothing you can say about one of the greatest men to ever wear an NFL jersey.
100%. So let's stick with the big dogs. Everyone wants to hear the big dogs. All right. So I'm just going to kick back all the way to the 2000s era. Adrian Peterson. We got to talk
Wow.
about it. 98 legend score, won an MVP, offensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, part of that special 2,000 yard club as far as single seasons go. 2010s all decade team, future pro Hall of Famer. He's going to get in. 4-time first team All Pro, 3-time second team All Pro, and he has about 7 Pro Bowls. Some of the stats that he has, I know that he's in the top 5 as it goes for career rushing yards in NFL history. Almost about 15,000 yards, 120 rush touchdowns. Max, this guy's well qualified. The one thing with AP, I would say this, I'm going to get it out the way. I mean, the end of his career didn't end how we all wanted. He wound up playing for like 4 or 3 different teams at the
Oh
tail end.
yeah, just like sticking on like a leech, like just trying to kick him out the league.
But
But
AP, for my money, he was the most dominant running back that I have ever seen in my
I'd
lifetime
agree.
watching football.
Yeah,
And he holds a special heart. He holds a special place in my heart because I just felt like he ran so freaking aggressive.
yeah,
Me growing up, I would always remember like coaches or like my older brother telling me like keep on moving your feet, high feet. And AP would just be trucking those freaking legs, bro, up and down. Like it was so hard to tackle him. Like his thighs were huge. Saquon, everyone wants to talk about Saquon with Thighzilla and freaking AJ Dillon. AP had some of the biggest thighs. Like his body type was perfect for a running back.
oh, every time I went to like the market with my mom and I saw like the Men's Health, like it was him.
Yeah.
Like looked like Greek god Adonis, and I will co-sign that 100%. For my money, Adrian Peterson, as of today, is the best running back I've ever seen. He's better than Saquon Barkley. He's better than whoever else. You know, I like in my lifetime. You know, born '95, so football mid 2000s to now. It's AP. He had everything. You know, he had everything, but maybe just not the receiving. He wasn't the world's greatest receiver, but this was a time, guys, where you know you weren't asking your running back to have like every route in the bucket. He wasn't a Christian McCaffrey. He was give me the ball in a loaded box, and I'll still go get you like yards. And his running back season, the 2K year, the MVP year, was the greatest single season for a running back I've ever seen. They couldn't throw the ball. It's Christian Ponder, noodle arm Christian Ponder, and AP is just you know taking an 80-yard touchdown against the Legion of Boom, like juking out Earl Thomas, running past Cam Chancellor. Like he is, and like is the gold standard for a running back today, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like
And
if you can get 7 years of running back to be an All Pro like AP in today's NFL, it's unheard of. It's unheard of.
I just want to I want to talk about the season that you're talking about, you know, the 2K yards and the whole Christian Ponder thing. I think that's another reason why I feel like he's my GOAT, bro, because everyone wants to talk about nowadays like running backs are not that important, like you can have anyone you want, like what type of impact do they really have? AP had impact. That was a playoff team with Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
And it's like I've never seen another running back have that type of season and that type of impact when it came to winning football games and being a legit playoff contender. I've seen Chris Johnson do it. Amazing player. We're going to talk about him. But it's like, did he really make the Titans all that much better as an impact
Well,
wise than AP?
here's a great example of that one. The Eagles will say Saquon had a magical year. I would say maybe the second best year I've seen for a running back in my lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Eagles won 11 games last year, made the playoffs. Obviously, he was like a missing piece to get them over the hump. But the Eagles were like a good team before Saquon. Dude, they went to a Super Bowl with Miles Sanders at running back. And now, like I said, Saquon had a big impact. But Saquon he couldn't take the Giants to the playoffs, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to besmirch him or, crap on Saquon Barkley. But AP was dragging the dog crap Vikings offense to the playoffs.
100%.
Yeah.
And easy S tier. It's not even a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's going to get
100%.
interesting when we're done with the list and we rearrange. I think that's when this thing is going to get interesting as well, as far as who's better, who's moving up that totem pole after the tier list is done. All right, let's keep on trucking along. Let's go. Who you want to go next?
Have a lot of S tiers in this guy, this one, man.
LaDainian Tomlinson? Let's do it.
Yeah, we can go. It's going to be tricky, but yeah.
Let's go LT, because I know there's a lot of LT guys out there. So he also won an MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year, 2000s All-Decade Team, Pro Football Hall of Famer, rushing crown, or what is that for the rushing touchdowns, Max? Most touchdowns
ever?
Yeah,
he had that year. Sean Alexander sets the record. Next year, here comes LT, 31 touchdowns in a year, 28 rushing, 3 receiving touchdowns. Unbelievable year. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, look, I had a close look at LaDainian Tomlinson. I'm a Raider fan. He destroyed us every chance he can get. He had it all. He really did. He was the receiving back. He can throw the football. Obviously, he can run the football. And
I think he has the NFL record with Mohamed Sanu for like best passer rating for a guy with like 6 passes or something. Because
I'm pretty sure
something like that, right?
He did it a couple of times against the Raiders. It pissed me off. But look, LT was just one of those dudes, bro, where I felt like his feet, he had great balance. Like his legs and his feet were just all great for a running back. And he had the jukes. And honestly, I wouldn't even say he was like one of the fastest guys that we've seen. I feel like a lot of people tend to forget like how powerful he was as a runner. Like I felt like he ran with some power more than like being this track star speed guy. What did you think?
He was an excellent player. I watched him way less than you, you being a Raiders fan. But growing up, I just remember, like right when I'm getting to football, he's doing like, I was such a big Sean Alexander guy, like love Sean Alexander. And I was like, he got this record, like LT tears it down. But there's just some part of me, like there's just a gap between him and AP for me. Like this would be like the second best running back I remember watching growing up. I don't count Walter and Barry as like people I watched growing up, right? Because I didn't. Like I watched the highlights, but you didn't get to be around them, right? You didn't get to see them play in their heyday. Like you don't get the storylines, right, of LT. I'm curious to know from you, how big is the Chargers New England thing on his resume to you? Now, I think it's something that's definitely forgotten about in the grand scheme of things. But as an NFL fan, what happened in that playoff game, and please give me your thoughts and like a brief synopsis of what happened. Well, how does that affect your image of him?
Yeah, that does have a stain on his legacy. One of the biggest games of his career, one of the biggest games in Chargers history. And he was kind of just on the sidelines riding a bike. And I'm pretty sure he had like a sprain. I want to say something sprained MCL or ACL, one of those injuries.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something.
And Phillip Rivers had a torn ACL and he was toughing it out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he sucked or anything like that. But guys, this was like a thing that was talked about. Like if you're a younger viewer, This was like just when Jay Cutler hurt his knee in the NFC Championship game. Again, nowhere near as good a player, but this was a thing like, yo, these guys don't have it in them. This was what people said, like the Skip Baylesses, the Stephen A. Smiths, all the talking heads.
Yeah.
So that's why I bring it up. I'm not trying to be smirching.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I believe he's an S tier guy. I think it's hard for me not to put him in the S tier. He was so dominant, and he really did carry the
150 touchdowns, 175 touchdowns.
Look, crazy.
In my heart, he's not an S. In my heart, I totally see it. Like, I see what people see in like the case, but maybe it's just me being tough, and we can rearrange these guys.
Yeah.
S is special, bro. S is like, and again, we're gonna have so many because the running back position has just been so flooded.
I think, like I said, it's gonna be very interesting when we're done settling out the tiers and we put the order. The order is really gonna matter with this one.
How close is he to AP in your mind?
I don't think
that's what I'm talking about.
I know, but I don't think he's that far. I don't think he's that far.
I'm just trying to know. I'm not trying to sway you. I'm just saying, like, what is it about him in your heart that he wasn't as good as AP?
I think AP was just more impactful. He was.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, he was.
And I mean, he got everything in the toolbox. He got everything except like AP had the long speed.
I would give you this though. You know, if we're gonna nitpick with games and stuff, and nitpick games. Something that we didn't bring up with AP, if there was anything that was a flaw with him, it was fumbles. He had fumbleitis.
He has some fumbling problems. He did. Yeah. He did have fumbling. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I just want to say this for the sake of argument. Can you just put him in A for right now, just so we can establish him as the baseline? I'm not saying he's gonna be A the whole time.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Don't worry. We don't have to hear feedback from Charger fans. They ain't out there. I'm just kidding. The New Jerseys are sick.
You're not lying. Okay,
I'm kidding.
Let's get to your boy Max.
I wonder who it's gonna be.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. Let me just find his name. Here he goes. Walter Payton. Let's go to sweetness.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is Max's guy. Max, you go ahead and take the lead on your boy.
As a kid, my dad. My growing up, I get a little feedback. Looking at my life, my dad had no team. My dad was like, I hate the Raiders. That's all I gotta know. I love football. I would be like, who's the best running back you saw? And he was like, Walter Payton. I go, why? And he just said, he just never went down. And going back, and I consider myself a Walter Payton buff. Like going back to Jackson State, I've watched games, watched documentaries, read stories about this time this random teenager went to the gym in Chicago and he was there and they formed a friendship. This is how deep I am into Walter Payton. And on the film one, he had a motto, never die easy. He was like the AP before AP. They had a no offense for like 10 years. They just let this guy toil away. Their offense on 3rd and 18 was just throw a sweep to Walter Payton. He had everything. He had the moves. He was a good receiver, just ultra talented, ultra impactful. I can't say enough how good this guy was. Just Iron Man, dude. Iron Man.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
Yeah. Look, it's hard to argue with sweetness, man. Obviously, I'm going to go to my guy after this, but it's always tough. This is why this list is going to be so hard. He's a no-brainer. He's an S tier because he's arguably, like Max, there's so many people out there. Though,
Juan knows this. This is not just an S tier. This is number 1 on Max's list for running backs. Yeah. And I want to say, you called him sweetness. Was his running style that sweet? It was, but was it not like
he ran with some power?
He ran with ultra power for his frame.
Yes.
I can't speak enough how great this guy was.
One thing about Walter Payton too, man, that a lot of people they bring up pretty often, the classiness of Walter Payton. I love he wasn't a celebration guy. He was known for giving the ball to the referee every time he scored. He didn't like to celebrate. He was really close with his fullback in Chicago. He gave him a lot of credit for his success. And one of those guys where I remember this as well, watching documentaries and stuff. He was one of those dudes where you never knew if he was tired or not because he would
No.
stay on the floor. He would stay on the floor at times and be like, "Oh, we got him. Like he's hurt. He's really tired right now." And then the next play, he'll run like a 50-yard touchdown. You never knew with him.
And he's doing like the karate, like spring up stuff, rolling on his head and like standing up. And
Yeah.
I mean, also one other thing you said how good of a dude he was. Walter Payton Man of the Year award is named after one of the greatest human beings. Again, he's at the top of S for me.
Yeah.
It's no brainer. There's no one in my heart that is above him. And it's going to be tough to, like you said, to order these guys.
Yeah. So let's go to my guy. Me and Max have had this discussion before as far as, who's better. It's super hard to argue for any side. But let's talk about Barry Sanders. This is my GOAT running back. I'm having an issue finding him. Where are you, Barry Sanders? But here he is. So Barry Sanders won an MVP, part of that 2K club, 90s All-Decade team, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, look, he's stacking up the All-Pros. He stacked up the Pro Bowls. But the one thing with Barry is he didn't play long. He only played for 9 years.
The one you should, for the younger audience who might not know this, it wasn't because he got hurt. Yeah. He retired. He was tired of losing.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson did the same career arc, a guy we'll talk about when we do receivers. Mm-hmm. There's not a guy who was more elusive than Barry Sanders. This is a guy didn't run with power, wasn't much of a power guy, but if you didn't wrap up, he was breaking he would break your arm tackle and he'll break your ankles.
Yeah, he was the most he was the most elusive back that I've ever seen.
I don't think anyone's even been close.
No,
you're not even in the ball. Like LaShawn McCoy in his heyday was nice. Shady McCoy had moves. Nothing like Barry Sanders.
And I feel like Barry Sanders, the reason why I think he's the GOAT running back as far as having that conversation is I think he has similar impact with AP. I know they didn't like win Super Bowls or like Sweetness has the Super Bowl, right? He has the 85 Bears. That defense was a big help. But like a lot of people don't remember that Barry did it. Barry did it with no quarterbacks and carried the Lions to not Super Bowls, but playoff berths.
Yeah, correct. Like division titles. Like,
yeah,
I will say one thing I didn't get, and I've done like when doing research. The Detroit had a decent line. They had some guys who were Pro Bowlers and All Pros, but yeah, they never had a quarterback worth of crap. It was like Rodney Pete, just journeyman throughout. And there's a reason why Barry Sanders owns the NFL record for most negative yards ran for as well, because he had to make magic. We're going to talk about Emmitt Smith. Maybe it's a good time after him to talk about. Like Emmitt Smith was like, "Oh, I'll just take what's there." Barry was like, "Oh crap, I have to run 8 different ways."
Yeah.
Like, look, this is my number 2 guy. And like with the Walter, it comes down to I love the bruising guys who punish defenses. And Barry didn't punish anybody. He just embarrassed you.
Yeah.
So and again, I have no spite in my heart for one or anyone who thinks Barry Sanders is better. I think it's just preference. When you get to these top guys, it's preference. It's like, hey, what do you want? You want the super elusive jitterbug guy like Barry? Or do you want like the Greek god like Walter Payton?
Yeah, because they are different players. When it comes to Barry and Walter, they're completely different players. They had different playing styles, but the impact was there. Like, Walter went through some tough years with Chicago, just like Barry did with Detroit, And the sucky thing about Barry is like when they got it together, when they actually had good teams in Detroit, it was when Brett Favre started like doing some things in Green Bay.
Yeah, but even those good teams weren't like, damn, that team could win a Super Bowl.
Right.
Like they're kind of fun. It was like they're good. They'll make the playoffs, but
it was Barry. It was the Barry show. If you stop Barry, you stop the Lions. And it was just really hard because he will go against like 9-man boxes and he'll still freaking score. Like I don't think I've ever seen somebody juke like 5 different guys in 5 different ways and styles in one play like Barry Sanders did. And it was insane, bro. Like the highlight, you'll
see stuff like that from Saquon, and that's like their career best highlight. That was like a game occurrence.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. So let's put Barry in S. That's a no-brainer. It's gonna be fun to rank those guys at the end of this. So where do you want to go, Max?
Let's finish Emmitt off. Let's finish off this era of the 90s.
Okay.
So I want to say this. Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll say my piece.
Yeah.
Emmitt
So
Smith.
so look, Emmitt. It's kind of surprising. He only has 4 All Pros, Super Bowl MVP, 3-time Super Bowl champion, won an MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 90s All Decade Team, 100-year anniversary, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and of course the big crown, the biggest one of them all. He's the leading rusher all time for rushing yards with 18,355 yards. So he's the rush king, and he was absolutely amazing. When you want to talk stats, if you're basing the best running back in NFL history, there's no other answer than Emmitt Smith. He's your guy.
By a wide margin. By a wide margin, I'd add.
But this is why context is so big. And if you're not a Cowboys fan, I'm pretty sure you feel different about that answer as far as the best running back ever. And me and Max are on that side of the coin where we don't think he's the best running back of all time.
I don't even think it's close, to be honest. I don't think he's better than AP as a running back. But I will say this. We have something in the works, and we did some digging into Emmitt Smith, and I gained a whole new level of respect for him when I did this research. And I think Juan would feel similar to me. At least that's what I think.
No, 100%.
I will say this. This is like the Jerry Rice of longevity for a running back. It's unheard of physical toughness and Iron Man-ness of Emmitt Smith. I will put him in S tier out of respect for what he's done, and he was a hell of a player. You know, like, he didn't have the moves like Barry. He didn't have the power like Walter. But his vision, you're building a running back, it's his vision every time. And his sheer willpower and determination, I would put him in S. I'd put him at the bottom. I'd put him even under Jim Brown. But just for what he accomplished and how good of a player he was. Like, you know, let's not act like he didn't make guys miss and have highlight runs. He did.
Yeah.
But he also had the most runs out of anybody on this list where it was like, oh, here's a wide open hole. We just need you to accelerate through it.
That's the one thing. I'm glad that Max brought it up as far as, like, you got to start off with the positives as far as, like, he had great vision. For me, what I gain respect for Emmitt Smith, I think he has, if not the same toughness as a Walter Payton, probably more. He's probably the most toughest running backs that I've ever, like, seen. As far as, like, enduring pain, the whole, like, you know, having the broken shoulder in a game and still playing and gutting it out. He's, like Max said, he's the Iron Man of running backs. You know, his longevity and his, like, just let alone you look at the games that he played season in and season out. It's absolutely incredible to look at. When, I mean, especially, like, the 90s were grueling football. Like, you would say today that's less impressive. In the 90s, the football was a whole different ball game when it came to, especially,
we didn't
the
even know
running
about
back
concussions
position.
in the 90s.
Exactly.
Right? We didn't know.
Yeah. So look, he's tough as nails, bro.
Where do you think? You think he's S or A?
I think he's S. Look, I'm definitely gonna be riding with you as far as, like, he's at the end of S. Because
I will say this. I did this to LT. We can put him at the top of A, and then we can make our decision later.
Okay. And one thing to just say, look, and this is just a fact. Emmitt Smith had the best offensive line, better than anyone on this list. He has the best.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a debate. The Great Wall of Dallas was one of the best offensive lines in NFL history. Point blank. So you got to take that into consideration. But let's do it. Let's put him at A. Probably going to make people mad, but fuck it. All right, put him in A.
Again, I just want to keep S really exclusive.
Yeah,
I really
feel
do.
you.
I think right now we're done with S at this point. Like, I don't see anyone on this list other than Saquon who's going to make S.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, my bad. Too premature.
Yeah, but I think he's tripping. I think we got some more big dogs.
I'm just being an ego humble.
Okay, let's talk about Eric Dickerson. Okay.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah. So Eric Dickerson, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, obviously a member of that 2,000-yard club, 80s All-Decade Team, Pro Football Hall of Famer, multiple All-Pros, man. Never got a second-team All-Pro. All of them are first-team. Some of the stats for Eric Dickerson. He has the rush yards, played for only 10 years. That's one thing with him. NFL record for single season rushing record with 2,105 yards. So no one has broke it. People have gotten close, Max. You know, Saquon's gotten
I
close.
genuinely feel like he's so thrilled that no one's broken it. Like, he
AP
really
should have
cares.
broke it. I'm just gonna say that. Someone
Saquon
should
should
have
have
told
broke
him.
that.
Someone should have told him how many yards he needed. But that's besides the point. So look, Eric Dickerson, when it comes to the greatest running backs of all time, this is where this position is so hard, man, because you talk to some guys and that were watching football when Eric Dickerson was in his heyday. He was special. He was a tall running back. He kind of had
6'4",
it
yeah,
all.
unheard of for
Yeah.
those days. Yeah,
And he kind of had it all, man. He had the aura too, with the goggles on, the fro. He had the
the big
style
ass shoulder
with the
pads, the
big
neck
ass shoulder
roll,
pads.
the
So
Jerry
look,
curl, all of it.
what do you think of Eric Dickerson, Max?
Look, I think he exploded onto the scene, but I think he hit some lows in his career. There's no doubt. Whether it was a contract dispute, whether it was wanting to be traded. I mean, he kind of did the AP thing, especially at the end, where it was like, "Yeah, I'll play in the Raiders, I'll go play in Atlanta," and it was just like, "Let me just go die somewhere," like career wise. But I don't think there's a better running back through his first 3 years than Eric Dickerson. He was for like 1,800 yards as a rookie, 2,100 yards as like a sophomore, third year player. He's a special running back, right? Like, for his time, there was no big running backs like him. I think he's a clear A tier guy. If you wanted to be really nitpicky, I could see B, but I think he was too good. Like, his talent was S tier talent, but it wasn't S tier longevity. It wasn't S tier build. Like, maybe the injuries caught up to him and just, the wear and tear. And I mean, he got a lot of carries, man. A lot of carries as a young guy.
Look, when we're looking at the S tier, Max, I kind of like that we're being greedy with it. I like the direction that we're going. So I'm gonna agree with you. The more that we're going through this list, the more that I'm feeling like, hey, like I don't think it's crazy to have LT and Emmitt Smith and Eric Dickerson in the A tier. Like, that's the reason
But
why.
we
That's
just
the
have
whole
to be
point.
really tough. We have to be really tough with
Yeah,
the
and
running
that's the whole
backs, tougher
point.
than we were.
That's the whole point around this series that me and Max are doing it. It's for conversations like this and holding guys accountable. It's like, okay, like, they're all great. Don't get every running back that we're talking about, we're all great in their own sense in their era. That's the reason why we're even talking about them. But how do they rank? That's the main purpose of this series. So I'm gonna say A tier. Look, Eric Dickerson, like you said, one of the greatest like starts off to a career. If he would have sustained that, probably would have been the best running back of all time. But the end of his career, it was kind of shaky, and it does suck. But part of this is being an Iron Man. Part of it is like having that grueling, being part of that grueling like list as far as guys where it's like, dude, like these guys didn't miss games. Like Barry rarely missed games. Jim Brown rarely missed games. It was probably just AP and the S tier that really had like injury concerns. So
Yeah.
that's something
And
that
I will
you
say
have to
this,
nitpick.
I don't think there was like an era like the 80s were Walter Payton, right? The 90s were Emmitt and Barry.
Yeah.
The 2010s were AP.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a time slot where you could be like, oh, it was Eric Dickerson for like that stretch, right? It was like a few years.
Yeah. So let's put ED, man. Let's put him in the A tier.
Okay.
All right. I love this. I love his avatar, by the way. I think it looks really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shout out to Max to all the graphics and
got some guys have really good, like really unique looks, and some guys are so bland. The avatar doesn't always come out great. I'm sorry. ChatGPT's the blame.
Okay, so let's move on, Max. Let's go to my guy. It's been too long since we haven't talked about him because I feel like we're getting in all to.
It's got to be Frank Gore.
No, my boy Marcus Allen, man. Marcus Allen.
Okay.
Always kind of gets forgotten in the greatest running back conversation.
I didn't know
honestly.
we were putting fullbacks on this list.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about Marcus Allen. So his legend score 99, Super Bowl MVP, one-time Super Bowl champion, won an MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Pro Football Hall of Famer, only a 3-time All-Pro, 2 first team, 1 second team. got multiple Pro Bowls. Let's look at the stats for Marcus Allen: 12,000 yards for rushing. Pretty high up there when it comes to the all-time rushing list. A lot of people forget about him, man.
A lot of
And
receiving yards, especially for the time he played.
yeah, so I'm gonna say this. I'm obviously a little biased. I know quite a bit
Well,
about
hold before you
Marcus
whatever you
Allen.
say, give to explain why I made the fullback joke.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how people don't
So
understand.
a lot of people don't even understand that Marcus Allen basically took a year off in a sense. So
Year? Like 2 almost.
almost, yeah,
2
almost
or
2 years,
3.
honestly. So there's a guy
Yeah.
named Bo Jackson who we're also going to talk about. I'm going to bring him up after this. We'll rank him after because I think it's only right to put those two together. So when Bo Jackson came to town to the Raiders, and the Raiders had this owner named Al Davis, and had some personal reasons why he didn't really like Marcus Allen, other than the fact that he had Bo Jackson. But there's a lot of stuff that are out there that, personal
Whole rabbit
reasons.
hole of
Yeah.
information.
But the bottom line is that Marcus Allen blocked for Bo Jackson for almost 2 years. He played fullback. He didn't run the ball, which was absolutely insane when you think about it. Like, just imagine, like, Derrick Henry, let's say, went to the Raiders and they drafted Ashton Genty, and they're like, "Hey, Derrick Henry, you're gonna play fullback for 2 years. You're gonna take 2 years off of your career." So when you talk about Marcus Allen, you have to bring that up. That's part of the context that a lot of people forget. And the crazy thing is that his numbers are still amazing. And for my money, I'm sorry, I think Marcus Allen has one of the most iconic runs from a running back in NFL history. The reverse in Super Bowl against the Washington Redskins at the time, I think is one of the greatest runs that I have ever seen on that big of a stage. I think it's so iconic, the way that he reversed fields and he took it to the house. So, look, obviously I'm biased. I'm a Raider fan. My own brother was named after Marcus Allen. My dad named him after him. So, I hold something close to Marcus Allen. He's an S tier for me in my heart, but for the sake of debate and for the sake of being unbiased in this tier list, I think he's an A guy. He's not an S tier guy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most interesting careers of a running back. We literally have a guy on the Hall of Fame track, and then for 3 to 4 years, Al Davis is just pissing on him, making him play backup, not giving him the carries and stuff.
I mean, it's why look at the accolades,
It
guys. He won comeback player of the year for a reason. It's because
Yeah,
Marcus Allen was nowhere to be found. He wasn't putting up
yeah.
numbers. He went to Kansas City with Joe Montana, and it was like, "Oh, we got a top 5 running back in the league. We got one of the best running backs in the league." And it's like, yeah, the Raiders have been having that guy. It's
He
just
only
they
he
don't.
only rushed for 1,000 yards 3 times in his whole career, the first 3 years, and then after that, it was a whole bunch of 900s, 800s. But you just gotta factor in, maybe if he got some playing time and he wasn't beefing. I mean, Al Davis called him a cancer to the media.
Yeah.
Imagine today if, like, Jeffrey Lurie came out and said Saquon was a cancer. Like, it'd be like, "Oh, trade him next day." But in those days, like, Al Davis was vindictive, and he's like, "I'll just let you rot. I'll waste your whole career."
Yeah.
Um, for my money, I think with the career he had, it was like a B, but I think he's an A player, so I put him in A. It's
Yeah.
just an interesting career. It's an unfair career because we got robbed.
Yeah.
We got robbed. And
Yeah.
I believe when he retired, he was the NFL touchdown king, right?
I believe so. I
Yeah,
believe
I think
so.
so.
He was pretty high on a lot of lists, and especially
Yeah, like 145 touchdowns, and he like playing half the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So let's put Marcus Allen in the A tier.
Put him behind those guys.
Shout out to Marcus Allen, man. So let's move on. Let's talk about Bo Jackson, because depending on who you talk to, a lot of people would say not the career wise, but this is the best running back that anyone has ever seen. Bo Jackson, obviously his legend score is not going to be much. He has the two-way logo because obviously if you didn't know and you're a little bit younger, Bo Jackson played baseball. His main sport
Only
wasn't
athlete
football.
ever to be an all-star in both football and baseball at the
Yes.
same time. Well, for those of you who don't know, big Bo Jackson guy, especially me.
Yeah.
He would literally play baseball. He would join the NFL week 4, and he would just kick ass for like 10 weeks.
Yeah. Like
One
Deion
of the most
Sanders
iconic,
did it.
Yeah.
But
not like Bo, though.
Not like Bo.
Not like Bo.
Not like Bo. Yeah.
I'll say this. He had one of the most iconic games of NFL history, the Monday night game against Brian Bosworth, like a cartoonish human being in those days. Good guy now. Good sheriff in, Fansville, where he resides.
He's the biggest what if in NFL history.
Yeah, there's a reason he made the list. He made the list just because we were like, we gotta talk about Bo. He hurt his hip because he was so strong, and he popped his own hip into place. He had hip replacement surgery at like 30 years old.
Yeah.
I will say this. He's going in the D tier, the bottom of it, because he played a year and a half, and people are going to say, well, you should have had other players. It's Bo Jackson's special case, man. If you can't understand that, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Look, like I said, when it comes to talent, but this is not all about talent. Your career matters. And yeah, we got some special cases like Bo Jackson, but if you're basing him off of his talent, he's an S tier. A lot of people say
too.
You can argue, man, the little time that Bo Jackson played in the NFL, he was one of the greatest players that we have ever seen. The stuff that he was doing. And he was doing it in 2 sports. That's the crazy thing. He was dominant in the NFL, and he was dominating on baseball. So it's crazy. Cool fact about Bo Jackson. My dad was actually at the game where he got injured, which is absolutely crazy. And he said that it was pretty devastating when Bo got hurt, because everyone kind of knew, like, that was kind of like an awkward tackle. That was an awkward play. And he just never really recovered from it, man. So
yeah, his hip was dying. They didn't know what happened to him.
Yeah. So weird injury, biggest what if, like we said. But D tier for Bo Jackson. Shout out to Bo Jackson.
Bo knows.
Let's go to who's another guy that we want to talk about.
I have a question. If you look at the list, is there anyone who could sniff S tier in your mind?
I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to.
I'm going to bring him up. Right now. Marshall Faulk.
Okay.
Marshall Faulk. Yeah, we're stingy. He might not make it, but I just want to bring up a guy who won a Super Bowl. He was an MVP. He was a 3-time Offensive Player of the Year. He hit from 99 to 2001. It was him. 6-time All-Pro. What he did was a little bit different than, just being a traditional running back like an AP, a Walter, a Barry, an Emmitt. This was the original, oh crap, running backs can be receivers now? He changed the game in my mind, Juan. He really did, to a certain. First guy to go 1K and 1K, 1,000 rushing, 1,000 passing. He was a dominant player for the Rams. He's part of the greatest show on turf. And like I said, he changed the run. There is no Christian McCaffreys if there's not Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
All the running backs now that you see, with the exception of a few, they're trying to be Marshall Faulk. The NFL wants, if the NFL, right now, I bet money, if they're like, who could you take? They'd be like, Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
He just solves all our problems.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just making the case. I don't know. In my heart, I know he's not an S, but I'm just saying, do we give him a little bit bonus points for changing the game?
Yeah.
Changing the game in some aspects.
That's definitely bonus points. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to play devil's advocate. It's not that I'm a big Marshall Faulk hater or anything, but let's just look at the facts. The Rams were really good on offense. They had Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Kurt Warner was, slinging that thing around, won an MVP, by the way. So I do think he gets a little bit more glorified than other guys because he was on that greatest show on turf. But I just feel like I wouldn't really put him as the main source. He was a big part of it, don't get me wrong, but you got to dock him points in that sense. That they had other Hall of Famers, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Kurt Warner. Those are Hall of Famers. He played with those guys, and so
my bad, by the way, to Roger Craig. He was the first, but then Marshall Faulk came along. But I'll say this one: he dominated for 3 years, like at a level
He
we were
did.
like, "Holy crap!"
And that's why he's an A tier guy. That's why he's an A
Okay,
tier.
I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make the argument because it was special, dude. And like I know Roger, like guys, I know Roger Craig. He was a good player for the '80s for the San Francisco. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. I know he went 1K. My bad for saying it was Marshall. But dude, I'm telling you, when Marshall Faulk came, when they were doing this crap, every team had to have like Brian Westbrook comes around, who's like a poor man's Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. He
Like
changed the
that.
game.
Yeah, he really did, man. More than Roger Craig. I hate to tell everybody.
Yeah. No, 100%. Marshall Faulk was one of the first guys I can remember that would just do it all, rush and catching. All right.
I mean, 12,000 rushing, 7,000 receiving is insane.
Yeah, that's insane. I want to go to one more guy that has an argument to be in the S tier.
Who?
Let's go to Derrick Henry. I think we got to talk about it. I think we have to talk about it. Derrick Henry, legend score 42, offensive player of the year, 2K club. He has 4 All-Pros, 3 of them second team, 1 of them first team, 5-time Pro Bowler. Some of the stats that Derrick Henry has: 11,000 yards, 106 touchdowns, NFL record for most 200-plus yard rush games with 6 of them. And he's obviously still playing. And
at a high level,
he's still pretty damn good. So obviously his resume is not finished. And I would say this, look, I'm leaning towards the A tier, obviously, because his career is not over. But I'm just saying, Max, he's like 2 more years away from being in that S tier. If he just winds up doing it, where it's like, hey, I had another 1,600-yard season and I dominated again, I think it's kind of hard not to put him in the S tier. What do you think?
In my heart, you're right. In my heart, you're right. Like he's not a perfect player by any means, but this guy does one thing: you give him the ball and just ride him. Pause. Use terminology, but just like that Tennessee run they had to almost the Super Bowl. What they do? They were like, let's just give this ball to this big MFer, 6'4", 260. One of my all-time favorite Derrick Henry stories, when he got to Alabama, they said just can't wait for him to see that number 99 in his locker because his big ass ain't playing running back. Thank God they did it. He terrorized everybody.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think he's had the longest reign of being the best running back in the NFL since AP. After AP, I think you have like some years of who has the running back crown. It's like a year of David Johnson. My heart on that.
That one hurts you.
There's some Todd Gurley in there.
Yeah.
And then it's like Derrick Henry until I get Saquon just had the best year. But Derrick Henry been wearing that crown as best running back.
King Henry.
Tennessee, he took them almost to the Super Bowl. And I know they were a good team, but he was a driving force of the offense.
That's where it is for me. That stretch that he had with Tennessee where he was the poster child. They had Ryan Tannehill was playing some good football, don't get me wrong. He was. But the main offense was Derrick Henry. And they were stacking the box, and this dude was going nuts. He still is going nuts.
I think to end that year was like, what, 200-yard games to get to 2,000, and then one in the playoffs versus Cincinnati or whoever New England. He went crazy. Baltimore, remember they beat Baltimore?
Yes, and he was a big reason. He did.
I'd put him in A. I'd put him in A right now.
I think he's an easy A tier guy, and like I'm telling you guys right now, if Derrick Henry has another like 1,500+ yard season the next 2 years, I think there's 1,000% an easy conversation on why we should put this guy in the S tier. That's how I feel. And like Max said, there's crowns to this. Like, carry it on from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. After AP, it's been the Derrick Henry show. He's been the best running back. King Henry, dog. A tier.
Yep.
Let's get it. All right. So I think I want to say that's the last guy that I have an argument to put in S tier.
I think we're going to be filling out the other tiers pretty soon. And we might have to pick up the pace because We got a lot of guys left, Juan.
Okay,
A
well
lot of.
let's do rapid fire on a couple guys that are very fun, but at the end of the day, they're not going to be all that high, but they deserve to get talked
Okay.
about. Let's
Hit
talk about Todd Gurley. Okay.
I was like, this has to be Todd Gurley. Like, there's no one he would say this about to start.
Okay, so offensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, 3-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. Some of the stats for Derrick Henry, for Todd Gurley, 6,000 yards, 67 rush touchdowns. Look, it's not amazing. Okay, he only played 5 years and
6
years.
Don't forget that you're at Atlanta, please. Please.
Yeah, don't forget that. But look, Todd Gurley, I'll just say this, man. He was pretty damn good when he was on the Rams.
He ended Max playing fantasy football. Fun fact. Took him as a sophomore with my 4th pick. Quit after that. So I love Todd Gurley because he relieved me of one of the biggest, stupidest stresses of my life. And as a player, he had the crown for 2 to 3 years. He literally had the crown until that NFC Championship game where he didn't play, and no one knew why.
Yeah.
And then he was out of the NFL in a year. It was unbelievable. It was like nothing we'd ever seen. I would put him in. I would put him at either C or B, and I think B is more indicative of how good he was.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know you hate Todd Gurley because
I think he's a D tier guy.
No way.
Looking at the list, man, I can't say that Todd Gurley is better than a lot of these guys. That's why I'm feeling D.
We don't have anyone in C.
I'm looking at the guys right now.
I want to start C with Todd Gurley. I'm starting C with Todd Gurley.
Okay.
He's better than a lot of guys on this list.
I don't know.
Boy,
maybe like 1 or 2, but
yeah, like 6 or 7.
I don't know. I don't think so. Let's go to another guy who's kind of on this level. Let's go Le'Veon Bell. Your boy, man.
He's better.
No, he's not better. He's not better. I'm just saying, like, this is rapid fire.
You're
Max.
on drugs.
He's not better.
Okay, DJ. Whatever, bro.
I'm gonna go watch Le'Veon Bell highlights.
And fall to sleep.
So look,
go ahead, Juan.
So look, Le'Veon Bell, 3-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. Look, there's a reason why it's 3-time. He had a 3-year stretch, Max, where he was pretty damn good, man. And I would say
this. He wasn't better than Todd Gurley. That's all I'm going to say about
it. He wasn't. No, I get you. I got you.
Okay.
I didn't say
he was.
No. He's not.
Look, he stole money from the Jets.
He did.
But I will say this. I commend him for sticking to his guns when he sat out that year with Pittsburgh. Because they would have ran his ass into the ground.
Yeah, they were.
Yes. They were absolutely. The thing about Le'Veon Bell that everyone's going to talk about, we don't even see it anymore. And I don't think I really saw it before Le'Veon Bell.
I don't think there's never been a running back to run like him.
No, he had the most unique running back style. So he comes out of Michigan State and he's kind of chunk. He's like 230. We're like, this guy's not that good. Pittsburgh takes him. He loses a bunch of weight. He loses 20 pounds. Not like he had a weight problem. Not like Eddie Lacy. But he was so freaking patient. He would just run. He would stop. He would find the hole and just jet through it for like 6 to 10 yards at will. Yeah. It was unbelievable. I would just receiver out of the backfield. He had it all.
Yeah, I would say this, Max.
Speed.
I think a lot of running backs try to mimic a Le'Veon Bell type running style to a certain point.
I would say this. When he was playing, you saw every MFer try to do that crap. And
they couldn't do it.
You're not Le'Veon
because
Bell.
Honestly, I mean, shout out to Max. This is gonna resonate with him because we play Madden a lot. My boy was dancing. He was a dancer. Why you dancing back there?
There's on Madden just trying to chop his feet and be cute. It's like hit the damn hole, bro.
Yeah, so that was a con with him coming out. Like, hey, this MFer be dancing in the backfield way too much, bro. But he was
you know
good
what?
At it.
It absolutely translated. He translated to the NFL.
Yes, 100%. And look, he's a D tier guy. I think it's an easy D tier. But you can't, like I said, I don't think you can tell the story of running backs and talk about some of the greatest and not just mention him. Like, he's just mentionable. And Le'Veon Bell, he's just a special kind of guy. The just off his run style alone, you know. But
I highly encourage you to look up how he ran. It was
shout out to DJ, man.
unbelievable.
He was on the trend. Just watch if you know, you know. Watch
Go to
some
sleep.
Le'Veon Bell highlights. They'll soothe you out. All right. Let's go to one of my personal favorites. I think it's been way too long since we started talking about him. Let's go to beast mode. Okay, let's go to Marshawn Lynch. His accolades are not all that good. Super Bowl champion, 2010's All-Decade team, only 2-time All-Pro, 1 first team, 1 second team. He has 5 Pro Bowls to his name. His numbers, they're decent. I mean, he reached 10K.
I will say this one. Who votes for All-Pro? The media.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, not a big fan of the media, and I would venture to say the media was not a big fan of Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. He's one of my favorites. He's a fan favorite for me. I love the attitude.
Oh, yeah.
Look, you want to talk about most iconic runs? I was talking about Marcus Allen.
I think it's the most.
Yeah, you can argue that Beast Mode has 2 of them. He has the Beastquake, the original, against the Saints, and then he has Beastquake 2.0 against the Arizona Cardinals. So
that's my favorite. That's my favorite run.
Yeah, I would argue that one's more impressive.
The fact he doesn't go out of bounds. I remember where I was when Beastquake 1 happened. I was sitting in my high school gym getting ready for a basketball game Saturday night. And I told my friend, I was like, I bet you $5, Connor. I was like, I got Seattle. And he's like, the Saints got it. They got Darren Sharper. That's what he says, the most hardest hitting safety in the league. Like that video. And we were sitting at the bench, and he's got like, this is before we streaming, because I'm an unk now, I guess.
Yeah.
But we had the game cast, and it just had like, you know how the like the little bar would be like 4 yards and have a little bar close to the end zone. It said like Marshawn Lynch 64-yard run, and I was like, damn. I was like, I bet it was sick, but you didn't get to see it, right?
Right.
Get home, turn on ESPN. It's just, I was like, bro, tackle this like there was an earthquake. I think it's absolute robbery. Marshawn Lynch only has 2 All-Pros, because there was like a 3 to 4 year stretch where he was the best running back in football. I really do believe that in my heart.
Yeah, I think.
And I'll say this: he didn't play in a great offense. They weren't like, "Hey, we're gonna do all these cool things and get this zone read." It was like, "Hey, bro, we're running up the tackle. Just go make 20 people miss, bro."
But you know what? I would argue that Marshawn Lynch was the most important piece on Seattle, whether people want to admit it or not.
Especially on offense. But
yeah,
they had nothing. Like, he took the pressure off Russ, because he was there before Russ was cooking.
Yes,
He was.
Exactly. He was, like, Russ rookie year and Russ second year, it was hand the ball off to Marshawn.
The first 3 years of Russ was like, yo, we run the rock and we play defense. It was old school football.
Yeah.
And so, hey, for my money, Marshawn Lynch is a B tier running back.
Yeah.
I would, in my heart, I want to say A, but I can't, bro. I can't.
Yeah. And you know what? It's unfortunate, because honestly, when I think about Marshawn Lynch, I think about his early years in Buffalo, and it really was wasted years. And you can argue it was due to himself. You know, he would even tell you, like, he was not happy in Buffalo. He was an Oakland guy,
getting in trouble off the field.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't a good marriage. It wasn't a good marriage for Marshawn in Buffalo. But when he went to Seattle, man, like, everything changed. You seen the potential.
Skittles. He became such an icon of the NFL.
He was.
Like, he really is a legend.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why.
For my money, he's a Hall of Famer. He really is. Like,
100%. Yeah, shout out to Beast Mode, bro. Honestly, the more that we're talking about it, I kind of want to put him in the A tier, but we'll get there when at the end, when we're ranking all these guys. But shout out to Beast Mode, man. I love the fact that he put on for Oakland for like a year and a half. And you know, everyone talks about like the personality stuff. I loved it. I absolutely loved it, because I felt like
stuff. He just hated the media.
I know, but like, I felt like it was so. I don't think he was trying to be an asshole. I think it was genuine.
He was authentic. Yeah, it was super authentic.
Yeah. So shout out to Marshawn, bro. Okay, let's keep on with the fan favorites. All right, these are guys that me and Max remember watching, and I have a special place in my heart for guys like this. Let's go to Matt Forte from the Chicago Bears.
I used to fight with Joey about how good Matt Forte was, man.
Matt Forte had to make the list. He had to. I was
Oh
telling
my
Max, I was
god.
like, we gotta have Matt Forte. We gotta talk about Matt, dude.
He just was good at everything, man. He had a hell of a run for the Bears. Like, look, he's probably in D. He's in D.
Yes.
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
But he was really good, man.
I just think he was one of those underrated guys. He was so smooth. He was able to catch the ball. He was a hell of a runner. Like
blocker.
he'll block his ass off, man. And one thing with Matt, it was just like he kind of just got swept under the rug at times. Like
it was the Bears, it was always the defense, and then it was Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. But it was like, dude, this is like the guy that makes the engine go. I mean, he almost had 10,000 rushing yards and 5,000 receiving yards. He was just a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Just didn't get the love.
Yeah. But he's definitely a guy that me and Max had a shout out on this
If
list.
you're similar to us and you watch football, and even if you're older and you watch, like, you remember how good Matt Forte, like, you can't tell me he wasn't a top 5 back for a few years.
Yeah. 100%.
He was just never the best. Never the best. And playing again in the same division as AP, it's like, oh, that's tough.
Yeah. All right. So let's put Matt Forte into the D tier.
D.
All right. Let's go to another fan favorite that I absolutely love, Arian Foster. Now, this is where I'm going to argue.
Love that you don't tell me where you're going, but I know where you're going. I'm like, okay, God, I just know you so well. Go ahead.
And I'm just going to start off this. Arian Foster was better than Matt Forte. And I'm going to argue that he's a C tier guy. I'm going to have the argument with you if you're thinking it's automatic D tier.
No, I think it's C. I think there was a 2-year stretch where he was like 1 or 2 in there. He just got really hurt. Like, I remember, like, I think a couple, like 3 years, it was always the hamstring, right? It was like, can't get healthy. Yeah. But if he had a great 2-year run with the Texans, and it was like, Arian Foster, smooth as can be.
Dude, he was a tough SOB, man. I just felt like it was poetry in motion watching Arian Foster. That's how I truly felt when he ran the football. And he was on some pretty good Texans teams. Like, Andre Johnson was probably the star of the show, but they had Matt Schaub. Like, he was an issue.
There was a year where he outshined Andre Johnson for my money.
Yeah.
And I love Andre Johnson. We're going to talk about him when we get down the line.
And I don't think I have seen a running back that I remember that was the king of the stretch run. I just remember Arian Foster running stretch after stretch after stretch. And it got to a point where that's why Houston was good, because they had some of the best play action.
Yeah, it was outside zone play action. Yeah, dude. Who was it? Gary Kubiak days?
Yes.
Was that it?
Kubiak days, man. God. I mean, Shanahan was there for, I want to say Shanahan was there for a little bit.
I thought he was just like the Shanahan disciple.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because, like, okay, this is a perfect segue for Terrell Davis, who we probably should have talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But Terrell Davis made his living like that. And Arian Foster, like, he was like the heir apparent, I felt like, undrafted. Yeah. Like, came out of nowhere, led the league in rushing. But I'm happy to put him in C1. I'm happy.
Yeah, I think he's a C tier guy. I think he's clearly better than Le'Veon Bell and Matt Forte for my money.
I would say that too.
Where is he?
Do you want to go to Terrell Davis next?
Yes, please. Let's go. Let's go TD, because I know some Bronco fans.
I have a bone to pick with the NFL. Terrell Davis was a great player. Had his little run. He's not a Hall of Famer in Max's book. I hate to tell everybody. Just like Gale Sayers isn't a Hall of Famer for playing 2 years in the 60s when his leg blew up. Look, Terrell Davis had a 2-year stretch. 2 Super Bowls, Super Bowl MVP, 2 Offensive Player of the Years, 3 All-Pro teams, made the Hall of Fame, got hurt. He played 7 years, 7,000 rushing yards. Did he have an awesome little stretch one for 3 years?
Yes, I think it's probably one of the best stretches that we have ever seen.
Could be. In my heart, for stuff like this, it matters for longevity. Now, you definitely can't talk about him, because between 96 and 98, best running back in football, no questions asked, bada bing. But we also know one thing. We know Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan can make a lot of magic with running backs. But I will say this. He is an NFL legend. a Denver Bronco legend. He's not a Hall of Famer. I'd put him in B. I would definitely put him in B.
I think
And
he's a B tier guy.
I don't think that's a disservice to him. You want to argue and say he had all this talent, he got hurt, and blah blah blah. I could understand that argument.
I want to say
But
this.
if we're gonna argue about stuff like that, don't put him in the Hall of Fame if it's what could have been.
Yeah, maybe that's a good video idea for us as far as our Hall of Fame. Max knows how I feel about the Hall of Fame. I know how Max feels about it. The Hall of Fame is just very weird.
Not as bad as basketballs.
Yeah, exactly.
Bo Jackson being the
but
NBA
it's bad.
Hall of Fame.
I think it's bad. But hey, look, that's besides the point. He's a Hall of Famer. He had arguably one of the greatest stretches, 2 years for a running back. You can argue as far as accolades go, impact goes. He was a big reason why John Elway got those Super Bowls. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. And one play that sticks out for me for TD is him basically running blind. Like he lost his vision. Yeah, in the Super Bowl, and he ran it in for a touchdown. Like he was tough as nails, man. But the longevity thing, you know how I feel about the longevity. I value that, man. I really do. And there's no way I can put him in the S tier or A tier. He's a B tier guy for the impact that he had and the little stretch that he had. And obviously he has the accolades like the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Even though I don't agree with it, he has it.
It would honestly, it'd be a modern example of this because we're a lot easier on running backs nowadays than we are like back in the day, right? With stats and stuff on.
Yeah.
It'd be like letting Todd Gurley in. You'd be like, no, he's not. TD had a better stretch than Gurley, but like we're saying with Gurley, for like 3 years, it was like touchdown machine. 1,400 rushing yards, 800 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns.
Just imagine this. I'm going to put it like this. Imagine Saquon being a below average running back till he got to the Eagles, and he had 2 years like he just did right now. But like the rest of his career, he was just like whatever.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's TD. Like he had a Saquon Barkley type season 2 years in a row and won the Super Bowl. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to your boy, man. Let's go LeSean McCoy. I know Shady holds a little special place in your heart, man. Look, 2-time Super Bowl champion, not with the Eagles, I would remind you.
Hold on. Big asterisk. Didn't do shit. Just
back-to-back Super Bowl champ to put it on it.
Group project, got the A. Didn't do nothing. Look, he was a 2-time first-team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, Eagle legend, 2010s All-Decade team. He was the closest thing I ever saw to Barry Sanders. I think one would agree.
Yeah. For
a good 5 years, I would say. I would think between 2011 to 2016, LeSean McCoy was amongst the best running backs in football. And he had a couple years where he was the best running back in football. Now, didn't have the longevity, didn't have as big an impact as other guys. For my money, he's in the tier with Marshawn Lynch and B, but he's towards the back.
Yes.
And it's no disrespect to him. He was a great player. Borderline Hall of Famer.
Yes.
But just, I don't think his impact was as great as other guys. But he was shifty.
He was shifty, man. Shady McCoy had the freaking moves. In my lifetime, watching football present time, if I didn't watch Barry Sanders games, LeSean McCoy had the best moves that I have ever seen. It was so funny the way that he held the football too. He would hold it. Oh. He would hold it so awkwardly. I'm be like,
but
man,
he didn't fumble a lot.
Yeah, he didn't fumble. Like it worked for a guy like him. But personally, I'm a big Shady McCoy fan. And I'm just gonna bring up this. We're always talking about context. I truly think Chip Kelly killed his career a little bit too early than he wanted to. Shady didn't want to go to Buffalo. He didn't.
No, but he had some good years in Buffalo.
He had good years in Buffalo, but I would say this. If he would have stayed on Philly and Philly would have been doing just the regular things, like I feel like he would have had a little bit better stats, man.
Yeah, I will say this. I don't know about the better stats, but he would have more notoriety because, man, in those days, Buffalo was like, have fun.
They were bad. That's where you send players to die.
I mean, look, he goes for 900 his first year in Buffalo, then 1,250, then 1,140. Those are good years, but if those are happening in Philly, there's a little bit.
Those are decent years.
Too. Yeah, Like, he didn't die in Buffalo, but it was like a punishment. It wasn't like, oh yeah, exciting,
Yeah.
I don't know who they're. Hey, you want to play EJ Manuel?
Shout out to Kiko Alonso.
Kiko,
They got Philly got
week
Kiko.
1, the best pick. I was so mad.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
so mad when they
But shout out
Sorry
to Shady
for cursing.
We'll put Shady in the B tier. Okay.
Put it in the back of B.
Yeah, we'll put him in the back of B. Okay, let's move along. Let's stay in Philly. Let's talk about some Philly greats, man. This is a late ad. Very late. Darren Sproles. Look, I know some of you guys may be surprised, but Darren Sproles, part of the 2010s All-Decade team as a returner, I would remind you. Super Bowl champion, 1-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. The stats are not going to amaze you, okay? But here's one important one that a lot of people forget. NFL record for most all-purpose yards in a season with 2,696 yards. And I would say this.
He was so good on the Saints. He was so big.
Yes, I would just say he had a legit impact. Like, you want to talk about throwing a monkey wrench into a game? It was Darren Sproles. And he was really good on multiple teams. He was really good on the Chargers. He was arguably
really good on the Saints.
Really good on the Saints. And he was pretty good on the Eagles when he won the Super Bowl.
When he got hurt the Super Bowl year, I was like, oh, we're screwed. Like, damn, Darren Sproles was such a big part of the offense. Like, again, he's like the S tier of the running backs, like swing pass, and the NF, like the S tier of the like screen, and just letting him get down the field. Like, they couldn't see him.
Yeah.
Does he necessarily belong on this list? I think it's an interesting case, right? Because he made his money doing a lot of the things. Like, he never got a full workload. They weren't like, hey, Darren Sproles, you want 300 touches this year? You want to do it? Sound fun?
Yeah.
No. But was he impactful, like you said? I would argue, in impact-wise, he'd be a C-tier guy.
Yeah.
But in terms of just being a pure running back and a lot of the other stuff, I'd put him in D.
Yeah. Easy D-tier guy.
Yeah, but he's such an NFL legend. Like, you can't, like, he was on so many big teams, and he had a big role, man.
I'm going to say this. This is why I value this podcast. It's conversations like this where I feel like I absolutely love. I love bringing up players like Darren Sproles because I guarantee most of the casual fans, not even casual fans, I would say 75% of NFL fans just forget guys like this. They forget guys like Darren Sproles and how good they were.
And you remember, like, oh, Darren Sproles had like the craziest highlight tape. Yeah. It was so, like I said, man, the stats don't tell the story. Like, go ask Sean Payton what he meant to their football team.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would give him extra points too, because you've never seen a guy like him do it. Never.
Dude, remember how quickest guy I've ever seen? So quick.
Yeah. Like, his size, like
5'6".
What was 5'6"? Come on. He was 5'6". Playing
on
running
a good
back.
Day. On a good day.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to Darren Sproles, bro. Okay, where's little Darren at? I'm having trouble finding. There he goes. Okay. So we're gonna put him in the back of D tier, obviously. But let's keep it moving. Let's go. Let's get into some bigger dogs now. All right. Do a little rapid fire. Let's go CJ2K. All right. Chris Johnson, Offensive Player of the Year. First team All-Pro, only one time. 3-time Pro Bowler. One thing about CJ, man, that's why his nickname is CJ2K. Most scrimmage yards in the season with 2,509 yards. Played for Tennessee, the Jets, Arizona. The end of his career was kind of iffy, but I would argue that he was still pretty decent. He had a couple of moments, but failed to reach 10,000 yards. I would have hoped for Chris Johnson to reach 10,000. But I would say this, man. You remember watching football back in the day when CJ was good. He was a joy to watch, and teams were absolutely freaking feared.
Terrified.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was feared, bro. CJ, for my money, he was the fastest player I've ever seen running with the football. And I want to specify that.
Him and Tyreek Hill.
I want to specify that with the football. There's a lot of guys that are fast without it. He was fast with the ball in his hands. Absolute legend.
He's got an interesting career arc for sure. I don't think people realize Tennessee was so bad when they had him. They had no offense. It was like Kenny Britt, Nate Washington, no quarter. Who was it? Charlie Whitehurst, Matt Hasselbeck for a couple years.
Yeah.
Who was the other crappy quarterback? The Travaris Jackson, I think they had with him. Who's the guy from Washington?
Kerry Collins.
No. The high pick who sucked. Jake Locker.
Oh, Jake Locker. Yes, correct.
For my money, dude, I put him in B. I mean, first of all, he was a special running back for 6 years, and it's not like he could have better stats if he had any type of help around him. Like the 2K year was special.
Yes.
Another like maybe a little bit of an outlier for him, but like I think he could have had bigger years than he had. Like I think the next biggest year he had like 1,400 yards. He could have bigger years if he was on a better team with a little bit more stability around him. Yeah. I love CJ2K. I put him in the back of B or top of C.
I think he's in the back of B. Obviously, we'll rearrange him if we need to, but Chris Johnson was damn good, man. Like me and Max said, if back in those times where he was in his prime, teams were terrified against Chris Johnson. I'm just going to tell you a memory that sticks out to me. The Raiders played the Tennessee Titans week 1. We got absolutely embarrassed because of Chris Johnson. It was a massacre what he did on the Raiders.
Is that when he hit the Chopper City dance?
Yes.
Or is that one?
But
I love Chris Johnson.
Shout out to CJ2K. All right. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go. Let's get some of the old heads, man. Let's go Earl Campbell. Shout out to my uncle, man. My uncle loves Earl Campbell. He's gonna be disappointed that it took an hour and 17 minutes to get to Earl Campbell. But
you gotta make him watch.
MVP, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time Offensive Player of the Year, member of the 70s All-Decade Team, 100-year anniversary team, Pro Football Hall of Famer. You want to explain to the people what this other logo is for him? It's a rose.
The rose?
Yes.
That's nicknamed the Rose of Tyler.
There you go.
So,
3-time All-Pro. 3-time All-Pro. 5-time Pro Bowler. Some of the stats for him, not that crazy, honestly. He played for the Houston Oilers, who don't exist anymore. I would say this.
Sorry, the Tyler Rose, by the way. My bad. The Rose of Tyler.
The same thing that we said about Le'Veon Bell. I'm not putting him in the same tier. But as far as running styles go, I think he had such a unique running style. He was a hammerhead.
You know how we talked about Walter had power and Jim Brown had power, but they also had like some moves?
Yeah.
This guy was like,
I'm
going to kill everything.
Absolute
Yeah,
tank.
there's a reason he had like a 3-year run. His bot, like, even if you go look at him now, and he's been through a lot, after football with injuries, pain addiction, pain pill addiction, just body betraying him. He ran so hard and so physical for those 3 years. It kind of just like messed him up for life.
I think one of the highlights that pop in my head when I think of Earl Campbell is him and Jack Tatum coming full force by the goal line and it being a clash of titans. Like that's probably the biggest.
Remember when
impact.
he getting his jersey ripped off of him?
Yeah. It's one of the most fun highlight tapes you're gonna watch for a running back. I'll tell you that much.
The person who told me about him was my Uncle Paulie. Shout out to him. He was like, this is like early 2000s. He's like, yeah, I used to do fantasy football in like the 70s. Like we had newspapers and we like did it back when you had to work for it.
Right.
And he's like, Earl Campbell, like, won't be my season that one day night where he had like 4 touchdowns of like 80 yards. And I was like, geez Louise. I would say this. It wasn't the longest run. It was a hell of a run, though. Like he wasn't here for a long time. He's here for a good time.
Right.
I would put him in borderline A, but top of B more than likely.
Yeah.
And his running style don't have a long shelf life. It really didn't.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of accolades. Like him being part of that the 70s All-Decade team. Like he's probably.
Do you know what year he got drafted? 78.
Yeah.
We're playing 3 years.
That's crazy.
In the 70s. Just to show you like how special he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to some more older guys. Probably
you're
not
cool
as
with B, by the way?
I'm cool with I put him at the tail end of B for now. But I agree with you, B. Earl Campbell.
B's gonna get a fool very quickly.
Yeah. We got to start finding some seats here, guys. And This is gonna be a debate. This is low key a fan favorite for Max. Let's go, Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams, 18 legend score. He only has one first team All Pro, one Pro Bowl. Look, just let's get it over with. He was suspended for 2 years due to drugs.
Weed.
Yeah.
Weed. Not a drug, but like weed.
Uh,
And he retired for a year. It's one of the weirdest careers in NFL history.
yeah, he's unique, but you look at the stats for Ricky Williams, they're not all that bad. Like
I don't know how he got 10,000 yards. He's,
he was solid, man.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Ditka traded a whole draft class for Ricky Williams, and one of the coolest things ever.
Unfortunately, Max, he's gonna be remembered for other things off the field. You know, the weirdness of him. But Ricky Williams was pretty good, man.
Awesome.
And I can only imagine if he had it all together and maybe he loved football a little bit more. You know, I think that was an issue for him. I don't think he loved.
I think if he played today, I think he'd be in a lot happier place, and we could have saw more like elite years out of him.
Yeah.
You know, he's an easy C guy because there was so much talent there, and people will say, "Well, Le'Veon Bell had 3 All Pros," but dude, Ricky Williams was better than Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, yeah. You just had to be there. You had to watch it. Like even that year, like the Wildcat year. He was there with the Dolphins, right? He was part of that team.
Yeah.
Him and Ronnie Brown. And then I remember a couple years with Baltimore where he was good. He was really good with Baltimore, man. So for Ricky Williams, man, put some respect on it. I know he gets remembered off the field for the things that he did, but he was a damn good football player, and there was a reason why he got traded for all those picks by Mike Ditka. You seen it. He was one of the best college football players of all time. Just the note.
Yeah, no, I mean he was excellent. He ran for like 1,900 yards. Juan, you just talked about one of my favorites. I'm pretty sure this is one of your favorites. Can we talk about Steven Jackson?
Yeah, let's talk about Steven Jackson.
Big MF running.
I would say this: Steven Jackson is like the baby version of Earl Campbell, you know, in modern day.
Dude, I just remember like how does dude, thighs and ass, like pause, but just. Dude, I don't know how anyone tackled him ever. Like, and what sucks about him, St. Louis, like he got in right when St. Louis sucked from pretty much then to when they got Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
He was so good he was their offense forever.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's just hand the ball off to Steven Jackson, watch him break tackles. Like he got 11,000 yards.
He looked like a damn gladiator out there, Max.
3 Pro Bowls. He just run into 10-man boxes all the time.
Yeah. The one thing I remember with Steven Jackson is just like him running violently. He was a violent runner. Always had his eyes huge. Like they were always wide open. He had the dreads going.
Was he the guy who got popped? Like he got his helmet knocked off and just stood up and just, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like I've never seen a guy get popped. And I'm like, I think he's
the thing that sucked. It was just like, it was at the period of time, like you said, like St. Louis sucked. It was after the greatest show on turf. And then you had like this little Steven Jackson era where it was just like, he was the best player on the team, like every single year, and they sucked.
He was literally like the only player on their team that was like, I would put him in C. I'd put him in C.
He's a C tier guy. You mentioned that C tier was low, so I'm like, all right, let me start getting some C tier guys for you. Let's go to where should we go? Let's go.
A lot of good names.
Let's go Priest Holmes.
I like that.
Let's go Priest Holmes from Kansas City. Look, Priest Holmes low-key got baptized by Steve Atwater. I'm just gonna be honest. That's how I really know Priest Holmes. But Super Bowl champion, offensive player of the year, 3-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler. Some of the stats that he has: 8,000 rush yards, 86 rush touchdowns. Played for Baltimore and KC. He went undrafted. Played for 10 years. Max, I think this is an easy borderline D C tier guy. What are you leaning towards?
He had a 3-year stretch, man. I vividly remember him having a 3-year stretch with the Chiefs where he was really good.
Yeah.
He kind of like with running back, I think more than any other position, you'll see like brief instances of like really good, and then it just falls off. He was a backup in Baltimore, got a starting job in Kansas City, had a 3-year stretch, and then just was average the rest of his career. Yeah. I would put him in C, towards the back, I would say.
Yeah, let's start filling up this C tier. I'm gonna put him in the C tier for now. Um, let's go ahead and get some other names out the way.
How about Alvin Kamara? Let's just do this quickly. Let's just put him in C right now.
Okay.
He's definitely not had a bad career, and he's still playing if he's not suspended for who knows how long. Alvin Kamara is very talented. He's been one of the best running backs since he joined the NFL, but he's never had like a great year, like an exceptional year, not like 1,500 rushing yards. I think he's had 1,000 rushing yards. He's had some big receiving years, but I'd put him in C1 right now.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna lump him and Christian McCaffrey together because I think this is a legit like versus. I honestly feel like
you've been on this shit for a long time.
Look, a lot of people look. I'm just gonna say it, man. The numbers are very similar between Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. It's just Christian McCaffrey gets a lot more love because I don't know. I guess he's more flashy.
No,
I guess
no, because he's had like the big year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like honestly, for me, I would put McCaffrey in B and I put Kamara in C, just because I think McCaffrey's hit higher.
He has that one special year with the Niners. That's what kind of elevated
if you
him.
want to put him in C right now, I'm cool with that. I'm honestly cool with that.
I think that B tier holds special to a lot of guys, but
so how would you feel about Saquon if we're gonna lump him in too because he's still playing?
I think Saquon's. Oh man, that one's hard, man. I want to say for sure B tier, but are you kind of thinking A tier?
No, I'm thinking like I'm surprised you'd even say B with the way you're being on McCaffrey. You're saying being C.
For me, look, I'm gonna.
I need it because I'm trying to take myself out of this conversation about Saquon because I'm so biased. But I mean, I'm not so biased, but I mean, I love the Eagles. I would say this: Saquon to me is better than McCaffrey. He's always been better, right?
Yeah.
Now, was McCaffrey had better years? Yeah, but both guys similar. Had a decent year in the Giants. Had a couple decent years in Carolina. When they both switched teams, they both exploded. So McCaffrey's had what? One good, like I'd say 1.5 good years with the 49ers. It was the year they lost to Philly because there was like the acquisition. He was good for like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he was really good the Super Bowl year, and he just had a year where he didn't play.
And he was really, like you said, I think McCaffrey had some better years in Carolina than Saquon had years.
That's why I would just
put
the them in both, and that's why I'm thinking he's more B. Saquon.
I'm gonna say
McCaffrey.
This. I think this is my opinion with Christian McCaffrey. I think he's done. I think the injuries are gonna catch up to him. That's how I honestly feel. I have more faith on Saquon potentially getting to that A tier than Christian McCaffrey.
Well, I would agree with this, and one of the reasons I would say is Christian McCaffrey's not an athletic freak. Saquon's a freak of nature. You know what I mean? Like Adonis, body can bounce back. If you're fine that okay, we'll put McCaffrey in C. I mean, look, he had two.
I'm gonna put McCaffrey in B.
Basically gone.
I'm gonna put him in B just because
at the back.
Because right now that I'm looking at LaShawn McCoy, for me to say that Christian McCaffrey is lower than LaShawn McCoy is kind of wrong in my sense. Like that's what I'm thinking of.
See, I feel the opposite. I think LaShawn's LaShawn's more above McCaffrey right now.
Really?
In his whole career. Yeah,
you're making me think about that special year. I think that is something to consider with some of these guys. Like the way that I see it is almost every single one of these guys in B tier. Marshawn, Terrell Davis.
Marshawn didn't have the special year though.
Not to a Christian McCaffrey point, but maybe he's the most established guy. Him and Earl are probably the most like career wise, like beasts. But
I mean, look, I think I take a lot of those running backs over McCaffrey. That's how I look at it. Like, who's the better player?
All right,
like we got to revisit it. Put him in back of B. We'll come back.
And I'm gonna put Saquon. I'm gonna put Saquon in B also.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. But Kamara's in C. We agree?
Yeah. I'll lose that battle with that. That McCaffrey year fucked me. All right. Because just Kamara doesn't have that. He has the 6 touchdowns in one game. Fantasy.
Yeah. Put him in there. We got one game. Put him in this.
All right. We're an hour and 30 minutes in, folks. We appreciate you guys.
We're not close to being done.
And I'm gonna say this: it's a damn shame why we haven't talked about my boy. Let's go to Frank Gore. All right, this is my boy, man. 2010s.
I'm gonna have to die on. Let me just say my piece. Do I think Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer? No, I don't. Was he really good for a long time? Absolutely one. He played 17 damn years or 16 years. He made one All-Pro team. He only made 5 Pro Bowls. He was a 2010s All-Decade team member. But you know what, Juan? If you want to put him in the back of A for his longevity and what he meant to the NFL, 16,000 yards rushing on the dot, most games ever played by a running back. In my heart, he's a B. He's a steady F&B his whole career as a running back. Had one really good year.
I think with him, it just kind of sucks because
was he on some badass Niner teams? Yes, he was.
Yeah,
was he on some good Niner teams? Yes, he was.
He had that stretch where, the Niners were good and he was part of those teams with Jim Harbaugh. But I would say this, the sucky thing about Frank Gore is he was never the best running back in the league 1 year.
I don't think it was even like, oh, damn, was Frank Gore the best? It was like, no, he's not.
But he was top really 3. Good. He was always like, oh, we got to put Frank Gore in the conversation. Like, it was a conversation.
I would, like I said, I'd want to put him in B. If you want to give him the A because of longevity, I get it. But I think he's a B. Like, I think it's fair. Like, there's better.
I feel. You know how I feel about the longevity thing with him. And to me, he's the ultimate Iron Man.
It's really impressive. Sorry as I keep knocking my knee into the stamp table. But it's impressive, I you know me, I'm not the big Frank Gore guy, but I'm just giving him his flowers, bro.
I say we give him his flowers. I say he's at the tail end of A. He's nowhere close of better than those other guys in the
Please put him in B. Please don't make me hate him. I think Marshawn Lynch is better than Frank Gore, dude.
Maybe we should just move Marshawn to A. But I think, this is where the accolades have to matter to a certain point with some guys. We got to reward them.
You got 5.
He has the yards, though. He has the stats.
Put him in B right now. We'll revisit it. Put him in B.
I'm going to put him in A. I hate you. I'm put him in A just to spite you right now.
Okay.
We'll move him later. Okay, let's go Curtis Martin. Okay, random name, but he's a Hall of Famer. So we got to talk about him. Offensive Rookie of the Year, only a 2-time All-Pro guy, 5-team Pro Bowler. He has 14,000 rush yards. A lot of rush yards for Curtis Martin. Played for the Jets, played for New England, 90 rushing touchdowns. Look, honestly, he kind of gets thrown under the table because not a lot of people remember him, but he was a pretty good running back for his time. And with Curtis Martin, I would say he was beneficial for the Jet more. I would say more so with the Jets than the Patriots.
I mean, I think it's impressive he made a first team All-Pro like the year before year 9 All-Pro is like a first team's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like to me, I remember him as the Jets because I don't remember. I went to like a funeral or something and they had a Jets game on the TV.
Yeah.
Pretty appropriate for a funeral.
Yeah.
Or it was like maybe it was like something weird. It was like sad. Everyone was dressed in black, I remember, and they had Chad Pennington just like dicing up some team on like a Sunday. I was like, damn, who is Chad Pennington? I like this guy.
Yeah.
And I saw Curtis Martin. I was like, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
I think he's a B. I'd say borderline C. I don't think his career's at him. I'd put him in B. He had a lot of yards, but I don't think caliber of running back. Like there's a lot of guys you take over Curtis Martin.
Yeah, it's the stats that really like put him over the top.
That's where we got to be. Like we have to kind of maybe we should have talked about it. Like where do you just put stat collectors? Like Frank Gore.
Because it's looking like B it's not that all many like stat collectors. It's more like dominant years. Just like, oh my God, like they had like 2 or 3 years where it's like, holy crap, like this guy's amazing. Like he had an S tier type season. But with Curtis Martin, he was just solid. He was just really good throughout his whole career. And I'm leaning towards the back of B. B is getting stacked up, but like we have Todd Gurley in C. Like I don't think I think he's better than Todd Gurley by a whole team.
Yeah, that'd be great. I want to add one other name to the list of B. Let's go Sean Alexander really quick.
Yeah.
Madden 07 holds a special place in my heart. When I saw that Seahawks,
It's one of the
jersey on
best
there,
Maddens, by the way.
one-time MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, 2 All-Pros, 3 Pro Bowls, had the NFL single-season touchdown record for exactly 1 year, and then LT was like, "F you." I mean, he was part of one of the best Seahawks teams in history. They went to the Super Bowl. They lost a controversial game, and he was the guy. Like, he was the engine, the premier back. I would say he's in B. You know, he had I would say a 3-year stretch one where it was really good.
Yeah.
And then he kind of vanished. He won an MVP and he had like such a, oh man, like we got to move some of these guys to C.
Yeah, the highs of the highs, man. This is why I was leaning Todd Gurley to be D tier. Honestly, I'm because I'm looking at Todd and I'm like, are you better? Are you better than some of these guys? Like, you know, but we'll get to it when we get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it. For now, I'm gonna put Sean Alexander in B. I don't think he's gonna last there, but we'll put him in B. He won an MVP. He had a very heck of a special year. He held the record for 1 year. Fortunately, LT whooped that ass and beat the record. But look, Sean Alexander, for a point in time, he was the shit, bro. He was the best running back in the league, arguably. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go Eddie George. Okay. Eddie George, offensive rookie of the year. 2-time All-Pro guy, 4-time Pro Bowler. Some of the stats for Eddie George has that 10K club stamped to him. 68 rushing touchdowns. Look, I would say this, man. Eddie George, he ran the ball hella hard, bro. And he was a big part of those Titans teams with Steve McNair. Like, I would say there was a stretch of football where it was ugly, and he was the poster child for it. Like, the Tennessee Titans played a ugly brand of football. It was play defense and run the hell out of the ball with Eddie George every single play we can get.
I would put him in C. I agree with you. I just think he didn't have a long stretch. Excuse me. He didn't have a long stretch, but it was good while it lasted, but it was never an elite stretch. You know what? I'd put him at the back of C, borderline D. I hate to say that.
Yeah. Eddie George just, I don't think he has it as far as
and go ahead.
I think he has that one special year when they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was probably his best
year.
You
know what else? You know who else I would say in C? I put Jamal Lewis in C.
Yeah, that's something. Jamal Lewis is weird because he has the amazing year on his belt. If you want to look at
just that 1 year.
Yeah, you want to look at 1 year. You want to look at the 2K club, and let's say like you were guessing who's in the 2K club. Jamal Lewis is always going to get forgotten about because he did it 1 year. That's why he has the first team All-Pro, the Pro Bowl, Super Bowl champion, MVP. He won an MVP.
Yeah, and I mean, he had some good years where, he had like 1,300 yards, but it wasn't like, damn, Jamal Lewis, man.
Yeah.
Going crazy, but like 1,300 yards back then was like a good running back did that.
Yeah.
Part of it. Good, so I'd put him in C, and I know he had that 1 year, so maybe he can go at the top of C. But
C is getting stacked up. C is getting
stacked. I mean, first of all, this is one of the deepest lists we have: receivers, quarterbacks, and running backs. They're all going to be long videos, guys.
Yeah.
So by my count, we have Jerome Bettis, Tony Dorsett, Thurman Thomas, and Edgerrin James left. 4 guys.
Okay. Let's go with the highest tier guy that you feel like.
I think it's Thurman Thomas.
I agree with you.
I would put him in A.
Yeah.
A very late edition. Sorry, Bills Mafia.
I would say this.
Stamps. You can find him.
I would say this about Thurman Thomas, man. He kind of gets swept under the rug as far as I don't think he got swept under the rug for his time playing. I think he was very well known when he was playing because the Bills were making Super Bowls and it was either him or Emmitt. Like me and Max, like we said, we've been doing a video on Emmitt Smith and what I'm learning about, like, back in the days in the 90s. Like Thurman Thomas was the guy to get paid first and then Emmitt Smith followed. So like Thurman Thomas was the guy, in the 90s next to Emmitt Smith. But I think over time, Max, as Emmitt Smith has, the longevity of the record, of course. That's number one, where it's like we kind of just forget about Thurman Thomas on how good he was because Emmitt Smith has stole all the shine because of that rushing record. I think that's part of it.
Yeah. And he's one of the first guys too where, he's never putting up like 1,500 yards. He's putting up like 1,400 yards with like 600 receiving yards, which it wasn't like the thing back then, right? Because you're gonna look at, his statistics and you're gonna be like, damn, like what did he do? Like it wasn't that impressive. But just for like a brief little thing, Thurman Thomas had 12,000 rushing yards and 4,500 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Barry Sanders had 3,000 receiving yards. That's it. He had 1,500 more. I'm just saying, Thurman Thomas's game wasn't always about, oh, damn, let's just hand him the ball, Juan. Let's just hand him the ball and let him run.
Yeah, all-around player.
All-around player. And the Bills' offense was kind of built around him.
Yeah, 100%. They want to look at the Jim Kelly and all that, but Thurman Thomas was a big part of those Super Bowl appearances.
I think he was the best player on their offense.
Yeah,
I would say that.
And, Andre Reed is kind of fighting for that, but Thurman Thomas ain't no slouch, bro. So we're gonna put Thurman Thomas at the top, or not at the top, but
Back
in A tier. I think he's better than Frank Gore. I'll tell you that much.
I would agree.
Let's go to your boy, because I want to hear you rant about him. Let's go Jerome Bettis.
Why is he my boy? I don't like
he's
Jerome Bettis.
No, that's what I'm saying. You
don't like him either.
I don't, but I love the way how you're passionate about Jerome Bettis, because a lot of people love themselves some Jerome Bettis, aka the bus. All right, we got the logo for the bus for you guys right there. It's iconic. Pro Football Hall of Famer. I'll put that in quotes. Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Why do you think he shouldn't be there? Okay, Super Bowl, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 3 All-Pro, 6 Pro Bowls. Why do you think he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame?
Look, this is just my opinion. The Hall of Fame should be a little bit more, or not a little bit
exclusive.
More. Yes, it's just a lot more exclusive. And I don't mean to pick on Jerome Bettis, because his numbers are not terrible. It's not like
his numbers are better than I thought, to be honest.
They're better than you thought. But
by the way, touchdown vulture those last 5 years.
Yes, 100%. 100%. But look, he's iconic. You can't tell the story of running backs without mentioning Jerome Bettis. I would say that. And I would say, for my money, I hate to say it, but he's arguably B tier.
I would put him. That's where I would put him. I would put him in B. Sign my check, whatever. Put him in B, in the middle. I just don't think he did anything like super special. Like, he had power. Was a big dude, but nothing as a receiver. Not a lot of impact.
I think it's more the play style. The play style and the size he was.
Of really good. Yeah. Hall of Fame really good to me.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Tony Dorsett. Okay.
Yeah.
Older guy, but with Tony, what did you think, Max? He had Super Bowl, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Pro, 4-time.
He's a B tier guy. I think he was one of like the godfathers of the running back. Made it cool, right? Like he's probably the oldest guy on this list outside of Jim Brown to make this list.
Yeah,
he was a good player, man. He had a good little run. Had the 99-yard touchdown, played for the Cowboys, collected stats, played a long time, played 12 years.
Yeah.
For my money, he's at the back of B, top of C. He's a legend. All
right, I put him B tier. I'm pretty comfortable with B, because I feel like we're going to drop a couple of these guys in the B tier.
Yeah. And last is Edge.
Let's go Edgerrin James, bro. This is not planned. I did not plan for him to be last, but definitely a guy he was pretty damn good, bro. And I would say he's kind of a weird case when it comes to Ed. 3-time All-Pro, all of them first team, part of the 2000s All-Decade team, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 4-time Pro Bowler.
Would you say he's a Hall of Famer? I wouldn't.
This is where the exclusiveness has to come into play. Like, Yeah, he has some good stats. 12,000 rushing yards. That's nothing to just shrug your shoulders at. You know, it's kind of the same thing with Jerome Bettis. I just feel like it should be held to a different standard. That's it. And this is why when I make the Frank Gore case, when it's like, okay, I see all these other guys in the Hall of Fame. Why shouldn't he be in the Hall of Fame? Like that's my kind of thing when I'm arguing for guys like that. But that's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If I had a vote in the Hall of Fame, I would be a lot more strict. I would hold it to a different standard. And
I would too.
There's multiple players out there. I'm not the first one to say this. Look up an interview with Deion Sanders. A lot of players feel the same way. And even if it's like he feels like, okay, they could be in the Hall of Fame, but let's add some levels to this. Let me get a different jacket. Let my jacket be like black, or let us be the only gold jackets in there. Let there be levels to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. He was certainly a good player, one of my favorites growing up. To me, he's honestly C tier. He's a really good player. C, maybe B. You know, we're gonna edit this, guys, and I feel bad. You know, this is such a difficult thing because, you know, if you could ask us tomorrow, we could feel a little differently. But for the most part, we have to fine tune this list. So I would put Edge in B or C1. I don't care where you put him right now because we're gonna fine tune this. I'm happy with S. I'm really happy with S, to be honest.
Yeah, we stuck to our guns. We really did stick to our guns with the S tier.
So what's S?
So S tier right now.
Do you want to go? Yeah, let's work through the list. Go ahead.
We got Sweetness, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, AP. That's S. I'm cool with either one. I'm cool with like putting like Barry, Walter, whatever.
Just give me the list of the guys in A you think could sneak into S.
Emmitt Smith, LaDainian Tomlinson, maybe Marshall Faulk.
I would put Emmitt. Let's bump him to S. Put him at the back.
Okay.
I think it's fair for Emmitt.
I'm gonna agree with you with LT. I think he's an A tier. I think we should hold the standard with LT in the A tier and make it that special.
Yeah.
I think I'm cool with S tier. The only other guy that I can see going in S tier is honestly Marshall Faulk.
I'm done. I'm done with S. I don't want to touch it. I want it to be the most.
So let's fine tune the order in S tier.
I'm happy with the order.
I'm gonna put Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Jim Brown third.
Yeah, sure.
AP, Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, I think AP's better than Emmitt Smith.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Okay, A tier. These are all the guys we have in here: LT, Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, Marcus Allen, Derrick Henry, Thurman Thomas, Frank Gore. So I'm gonna put Frank Gore automatically in the back. I think that's easy. He's easy in the back. Number one.
Yeah.
I think it's clear cut. I think it's LT. And Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Eric Dickerson next.
Okay.
Marcus Allen. Or are you thinking Derrick Henry?
No, I think Derrick Henry's the second to last guy. Where's Thurman?
Thurman is third to last.
I think Thurman's above Derrick Henry. No, I think Derrick Henry's above Thurman Thomas right now.
Okay, so that's second to last. So right now the order is LT, Marshall Faulk, Eric Dickerson, Marcus Allen, Derrick Henry, Thurman Thomas, Frank Gore.
Get Frank Gore out. You can't be there. I hate it. I hate to say it, but you know it.
I know. I would agree. I just think we got to cut down.
Yeah, give me the one guy in B that can come up.
The only other guy I'm seeing in B, really nobody. I'm going to name you the names and let's see if you agree.
No, because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, somebody's got to be there. It could be an A, but I don't think that guy exists.
I don't see him. Frank Gore, Marshawn Lynch, Terrell Davis, Shady McCoy, CJ2K, Earl Campbell, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Curtis Martin, Sean Alexander, Jerome Bettis, Tony Dorsett. I don't see any of those guys in A.
Nobody deserves to be in A.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the top of B. I'm comfortable putting Frank Gore at the top of B. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah.
Number 2, I'm leaning towards beast mode.
Okay.
I'm struggling to find next. We got
Who's at the
Terrell
back of B?
right now.
No. Who's better, Terrell Davis or Marshawn Lynch?
I would say Marshawn Lynch.
I would agree.
I think Marshawn's better.
Yeah, I put
Is
Terrell
Davis then Shady? Yes.
Yes.
Is Terrell Davis better than CJ2K? Yes.
Yeah.
Is he better than Earl Campbell? Yes. That one's tough.
I'd say Earl. I think Terrell had 2 years. Earl had 3.
Okay, so we'll put Earl at 3.
I mean, because the guys are wondering why I'm saying this right now. They both didn't have long careers, so it's basically like, okay, and it's like pick your poison. I feel like they're equally as good, and they're just different. Yeah. So just give me Earl for the sake of this video.
Okay, Shady McCoy, or you know what? Let's go back on Terrell Davis. I want to finish some names. Who's better, Terrell Davis, Curtis Martin?
Terrell Davis was in a better tier.
Jerome Bettis and Tony Dorsett. Is Terrell Davis better than both of those guys?
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Put Bettis in C.
I'm cool with that.
And then take McCaffrey and throw him in C as well.
I was just going to say that. Do you think we should switch CJ2K to C?
I think we're going to have to.
I think the D tier is going to get a little bit more packed because I think guys are just going to fall. Okay, so B tier as it stands right now. Frank Gore, Beast Mode, Earl Campbell, Terrell Davis, Shady McCoy, Saquon Barkley, Curtis Martin, Sean Alexander, Tony Dorsett. Who's the worst guy?
I would say Saquon's got to come out for right now.
I'm going to disagree with you on that. I think Saquon should stay there.
Like in terms of talent, yeah, but I think
I think career-wise, I'm honestly feeling that. I'm gonna push back on that. We can put him at the back of B, but he's last. He's definitely last. Okay, I would say the next guy behind him, that's ahead of him, LaShawn McCoy. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. Is LaShawn McCoy better than Sean Alexander?
Yeah.
All right. So Sean Alexander is second to last.
Did Sean Alexander have a better year? Yes, but overall,
I think Shady had a better career.
Yeah, I think Shady was better for longer.
Okay, so Tony Dorsett or LaShawn?
LaShawn McCoy. I think it's better than Tony Dorsett.
Okay, Curtis Martin or LaShawn McCoy?
I think LaShawn McCoy is better than Curtis Martin.
All right, he's moving up the list.
Do you disagree?
No, I don't. Curtis Martin or Tony Dorsett? Who's better?
I would Dorsett's better than Curtis Martin.
Thank you. I was going to say that. Okay, so this is the order. Frank Gore 1, Beast Mode 2, Earl Campbell, Terrell Davis, LaShawn McCoy, Tony Dorsett, Curtis Martin, Sean Alexander, Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the C tier. Jerome Bettis, Todd Gurley, CMC, CJ2K, Endrick James, Arian Foster. I'm going to tell you right now, Arian Foster's D. I'm sorry.
Yeah, got to be.
Ricky Williams, Steven Jackson.
Go ahead and move Steve. Move Steve to D.
I'll move Steve. This is Jamal Lewis, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, move to D.
Eddie George.
Bettis is the top.
Yeah. We got Priest Holmes in here as well.
I'd leave Priest Holmes in C. Put him at the bottom.
Okay. Todd Gurley, D.
Got it. Yeah,
take him out.
Gotta move.
We got to move him out of here. I think McCaffrey is secured in C. There's no way we can drop him to D. CJ2K, he's secured here.
Yeah, I think
Ed is secured. What about Ricky? Is he secured?
Yeah, he's the bottom. Ricky's the bottom. Then McCaffrey. Edge is the top. He's better than Bettis.
Yeah, he's better than CJ2K too.
Yeah, CJ2K is not better than Bettis, I would say.
Okay, who's better? Chris Johnson, Priest Holmes.
Oh, Chris Johnson.
Chris
Holmes is
Johnson,
above.
Jamal Lewis. I'll go Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson, yeah.
Chris Johnson or Ricky Williams.
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson or CMC.
Chris Johnson.
Eddie George, Chris Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris Johnson.
Okay, so Chris Johnson is secured in the third spot. All right.
Okay.
This fourth spot.
Ricky's the back. Ricky's the back.
Okay.
Just to solidify that.
Eddie George is second to last.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Do we want to put Christian McCaffrey over Priest Holmes and Jamal Lewis?
I think so. I would go McCaffrey, Lewis, Holmes.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm gonna push back, and I'm gonna say that Eddie George is better than Priest Holmes. It's slight, but
I'll go with. Yeah, I mean, like, people don't understand it. Like, it's like splitting hairs right now. It's like,
yeah,
they're all in the same tier.
This is the final list for C: Jerome Bettis, Endrick James, Chris Johnson, CMC, Jamal Lewis, Eddie George, Priest Holmes, Ricky Williams.
Switch Edge with Bettis. I think Edge is better than Bettis.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, D tier. I'm gonna automatically put Bo Jackson at the bottom of D.
Yep. Then Darren Sproles.
And Darren Sproles.
Yeah.
Where's Darren?
I'm just saying Bo has to be the bottom, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. The top of D, we got Kamara, Steven Jackson, Arian Foster, Matt Forte, Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley. I feel like it's a race between Kamara or Todd Gurley.
It's Gurley as of right now.
I'm going to go with Kamara as 2 then.
Okay.
I'm going to put Arian Foster right behind Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Steven Jackson. And then I'm going to go...
Oh, I would say Steven Jackson was better than Arian Foster one.
Yeah, you're right. What about... I am leaning Forte over Le'Veon.
No, I would say Le'Veon's better than Matt Forte.
Really?
As much as I hate to say it.
Okay. So this is D tier. I think we got it settled. Todd Gurley, Alvin Kamara, Steven Jackson, Arian Foster, Le'Veon Bell, Matt Forte, Darren Sproles, Bo Jackson.
Go ahead and bump up Steven Jackson above Kamara.
Let's do it. 2 Rams players and D. Are you comfortable with the list? Are there any regrets that you feel like you're
Where's
having?
Marcus Allen?
Marcus Allen is in A tier.
Where at?
He's right above Derrick Henry and Dermot Thomas.
He's above those guys?
Yes. Should we push him back? I'm cool with putting Thurman Thomas above him.
Yeah, but not Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was only. Which name are you least happy with?
The name that I'm least happy with is honestly, I'll probably say LT, but I get it. I like the gold standard that we're setting in A because there's some pretty good guys in A. That's just my feel, though.
I was gonna say I feel like it was like Emmitt was the odd guy out. Like I'm like, yeah, Emmitt's an S. Like you're the all-time leading rusher by like a wide margin.
Yeah,
like you were a dog in your day.
Yeah, I'm happy with it though. I'm like
pretty
it.
Happy.
I'm a lot more happier than I thought I was gonna be with the list.
Yeah, I know people are gonna be like, well, you're just taking accolades, and then you say who's a better player, and it's like when we're asking who's a better player, like we're splitting hairs. We're like, you're all lumped
so
up
close.
Together.
It's so close.
Yeah, correct. And like Jerome Bettis has a better career than some guy. Like the guys with the best careers typically tend to be the guys who are the best players too, because they stick around the longest, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And like, there's some longevity in the list. There's some like, hey, it was a flash of a hot like pan. Like, there's somebody in C who was like just had a really hot, like Sean Alexander. He's in C, right?
He's in B.
Is he?
Yes.
Where's he at in B?
He's second to last. He's right above Saquon.
You think he should be in C?
Is he better than Adrian James? I think we got to drop him even lower.
No, I think he's better than Adrian James, Sean Alexander.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I think, now that I'm thinking about it, Max, I think we're being a little bit too biased towards Madden.
I'm not trying to be. Put him under. You want to put him under Edge?
I'm just gonna be honest. Now that I'm thinking about
I don't think Saquon Barkley is better than Edge right now. Like,
I think all
he's
these
a better
guys,
player, but like it's tough because in my head I'm like, totality of his career. Like, we have him right now after coming off a Super Bowl and 2K.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Ed, Jerome, Chris Johnson, and Christian McCaffrey, I can argue, are better than Sean Alexander.
No, you can't argue, Christian. You're crazy. Get out of here.
I don't know. Are you comfortable putting him in C tier? Because the way you're talking about him, I think he has to be at the top, so he'll be above Ed.
Yeah, I would think he'd be. If you're not having, I'd be okay if you put him one under Ed
and above the bus.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, are you cool? You think Sean Alexander was better than Jerome Bettis?
Talent-wise, yes, but career-wise, no.
No, I know, but like,
yeah, the MVP does it. The MVP does it.
I know, but I don't want to always, this list isn't always about like who had the most accolades.
Yeah.
Because it's like Emmitt Smith would be one. This is just what we think. Like, these are the best players, and like I said, we take some of the career into it, some of the who the player was, some of the
context.
Some of our
yeah.
It's tough. Like.
Yeah,
because everyone can take a little bit different of the context, but I mean, I'm sure someone's going to see this. His vote was stupid.
Yeah,
Curtis Martin was way better. Terrell Davis was S tier.
Like, everyone loves to be S tier.
Example, man. Like, Terrell Davis, a prime example of he's in the Hall of Fame, but he's not better than these dudes.
Yeah,
maybe if you played 10 years and could show it off,
But that's the list, guys. All right, this was a long one.
2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. We're finally finished. All right. Look, again, if you guys have made it this far in the video, you guys obviously love fucking hearing us talk. So just subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And please hit the like button. All right. It helps out a bunch. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. Comment down below any thoughts that you have. I feel like this one's going to get a lot of attention as far as debates go. I have a feeling. But that's going to do it. The next time.
Can I say one last thing? If you have any comment, please comment it. But you know what? I just would love a comment that's better than "you guys are stupid." Yeah, let me know why. Anything. I don't even. Truthfully, I don't care if you say that because I generally don't. You can ask Juan, but you're gonna comment. Like, let me at least argue with you or something. Please.
Yeah, at least give us a reason, please. Okay. Anyway. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. Until next time, we out. Peace. Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both ways. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy.